Hey guys, welcome to the Joe Madden Sports Show. I'm Joe. I'm joined today by Cam Rogers. Cam, welcome to the show. It's been a minute. Glad to have you back.
What's going on, Joe? Good to reconnect with you. Excited for the NFL season rolling along. And of course, the shortest off season in sports, the PGA Tour, is back too.
Absolutely. I'm glad to have it back. I know that you love golf, love talking golf. Do you have any early tips for us for tomorrow's tournament? We have the Shriners Children's Open here for the PGA.
Yeah, TPC Summerlin, fittingly in Las Vegas here as we talk about betting and golf. And we're seeing a lot of young talent right now make a big-time rise on the PGA Tour. Of course, with this new season now, a lot of the Korn Ferry Tour graduates are playing on the PGA Tour right now, and we're seeing some fantastic performances. Taylor Montgomery has been amazing. Thomas Dietrich has been great as well. So I would certainly look for those betting angles with these young guys because these sports books out there don't necessarily know them as much. And so you can get some really good numbers. So I think betting on golf in the fall actually is a lot easier than compared to the majors and all that good stuff because, well, there's no football that's distracting these sports books out there.
Yeah, absolutely. There is so much coming with hockey kicking off right away. NBA as well. We got to look for those opportunities. So thank you for breaking that down for us. Let's talk some NFL. We have week 5 kicking off tomorrow night with the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Denver Broncos. Now, we've seen line movement already on this total. I hit it under 43.5. It's now moved down a whole point to 42.5. We got Denver still sitting solid as a 3-point favorite. Cam, what are you liking here?
Yeah, I'm liking the side here with the Denver Broncos -3 against the Indianapolis Colts. I mean, it's fair to say both of these teams have not really met preseason expectations. Matt Ryan looks old in the pocket. He's getting no pass protection whatsoever. And now he's likely without his star running back in Jonathan Taylor. Russell Wilson looks out of sync right now. In fact, Geno Smith statistically is outplaying Russell Wilson. So that's the reality right now. But I'm looking at the defense for the Denver Broncos, number 8 in pass defense DVOA. That's important here this week because I don't think the Colts are going to be able to run the football without Jonathan Taylor. So this number looks like easy money for me. The Broncos covering here -3. I think it's going to be an ugly game to your point. So I think the under is a safe bet as well. But I just can't trust these Indianapolis Colts right now. They were lucky to beat the Chiefs. I think that was a fluky result. They lost the Titans a week ago. I think they're going to lose to the Broncos and fail to cover.
Yeah, I think the Colts were the Chiefs were in a look-ahead spot. They had the Bucs on deck for that game where the Colts were able to get the win. So that was an interesting one. I think we will see the turnovers coming in for the Indianapolis Colts. Already 9 turnovers on the season, where we see the Denver Broncos only at that 4. So it's going to be a good game. Best of luck on the side taking Denver. How is Russell Wilson not pulling things together? Any thoughts on him right now?
Well, I think, when you move on to a new team, a new system, a new offense, there's going to be a learning curve. So I think, cautioning Denver fans out there that it's only been 4 games, all right? We're only 1/4 of the way through the season. It's going to take some time here for Russell Wilson to get on the same page with this offense. Now, obviously, losing Javonte Williams is not going to help the situation here. I don't think Melvin Gordon can actually carry the load for this offense in terms of the backfield. So that means Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, KJ Hamler, these guys are going to have to step up at the wide receiver position, Albert O as well at the tight end position. And so I think it's just the lack of continuity right now for Russell Wilson, learning a new system, learning new weapons on the offensive side. I think eventually he's going to figure it out, but it's obviously going to take some time. We've learned so far the month of September was a rocky road, no pun intended, for the Denver Broncos. So listen, I think this could be a get-right game, though, for Denver tomorrow night. There's just too much talent on the offensive side for them to struggle the entire season.
Oh, there absolutely is. Now, you brought up Geno Smith. He played an unbelievable game in that opening week 1 versus Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos. Did you expect that out of him? We've seen not as much flashiness, I guess, out of him since, but that was a phenomenal game for Geno.
They're letting Geno cook right now. Forget
Yeah.
about Russell Wilson. I mean, Seattle 4-2 ATS in their last 6 games. Geno Smith is a big reason why. He's completing a million passes every single game. And obviously you have talent at the wide receiver position with Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. That certainly helps the situation. Rashad Penny, I think, is a guy we don't talk about enough at the running back position as well. So the offense is pretty solid. The concern for Seattle is actually the defense. So Pete Carroll is a fantastic coach, one of the best coaches in the National Football League. So to that degree, it's not so surprising, but we're talking about Geno Smith. He barely had starting experience the last few years prior to this season. So, it was a little bit of a surprise to see it in that regard, but also you look at the system in Seattle, just the history, the pedigree, maybe not so surprising. We'll see how long it can last, though, this season.
Cam, I have to ask you an odd question. Do you think Pete Carroll's hands hurt after a Sunday football game? Because the amount he claps on that sideline, you got to think those hands get sore.
Yeah, he is the new clapper. They used to call Jason Garrett the clapper. He would clap for everything, even if it was like a 3-yard gain with Ezekiel Elliott or something like that. So, yeah, Pete Carroll, the oldest head coach in the National Football League, certainly doesn't act like it. He is humming along out there on the sideline.
Yeah, absolutely. Young at heart. That passion, that love for the game is phenomenal to see. Cam, you got any Sunday football rituals that you go through, any superstitions when you're watching these teams you're betting on?
Yeah, well, I can talk about my Baltimore Ravens. I've got my Ravens beak behind me here. Always throw that on for big Ravens games. And, I think it's just a lot of research and hope and praying. And I love NFL Sundays. It's just relaxing. You got the TV, you got the laptops open. I've got NFL Sunday Ticket as well, so I can get all the out-of-market games. So I've got everything in front of me to sort of research. And when I'm watching these games for this Sunday, I will be already researching for week 6, because a lot of times it's the eye test. And the eye test tells you a lot about, what you're going to see the rest of the NFL season. So, nothing too crazy. No spoon under my pillow like you would do when you're hoping for a snow day or something like that. But I certainly do enjoy every NFL Sunday.
Okay, I've never done the spoon under the pillow. Never even heard of that. I definitely
it's
do
a thing. Yeah.
It's a thing. Okay, the more you know. Let's talk about your Baltimore Ravens here. They play the Cincinnati Bengals at 8:20 Sunday night. What are your thoughts on this one? They're coming in as a favorite. Lamar and company look phenomenal. They really do. I think he is MVP candidate. But the Bengals, we got Joe Burrows coming in here, total 48.5.
Yeah, really good offenses here. Cincinnati had that get-right game, of course, on Thursday Night Football against the Miami Dolphins, finally got back on track, but there's still concerns with that offensive line that they spent so much money on. Pass protection, run blocking. I mean, Joe Mixon, despite getting 1 million carries every single game, can't find any room in the run game. The Baltimore Ravens, meanwhile, they've had leads every single game. They should be 4-0, but they can't figure out how to close out. Yeah. They have to figure it out this week against Jamar Chase and Joe Mixon and Joe Burrow and that flashy offense. I think the Ravens do get this one done. They do cover that -3 number. They're just too good of a team. They're really just shooting themselves in the foot so far this season with these losses. They should have beat the Bills last week, obviously, and they certainly should have beat the Dolphins, being up as far as they were going into that fourth quarter. I like the Ravens in this matchup here. I think it's a get-right game for them as well. Interesting total, too. I think this one could go over that 48.5 number.
Yeah, I was shocked this one didn't hit 50 to open here. Like you said, powerful offenses on both sides. We just need the Baltimore Ravens defense in the secondary not to fall apart and allow Burrows to connect with Chase there. Any other games that you are looking at for Sunday?
Yeah, a lot of interesting matchups, divisional matchups as well. I'm looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Buffalo Bills. Big spread here. The Bills are laying 14 points at home. This is a tough spot for Kenny Pickett, of course, getting the start at the quarterback position here. Playing in Buffalo, it's going to be crazy. The Bills obviously have minimal tape on Pickett. Every NFL team does. Yeah. So sometimes that creates an interesting sort of storyline. But even still, I think this is going to be a struggle for the Steelers offense. When you lose to the Jets at home, I'm sorry, I can't back you the following week. I think the Bills do cover that game, -14. So they get it done, of course, at home and take care of the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Falcons and the Bucks too, another one that I'm looking at. The Bucks laying 9 in this one, hoping to not go 0-3 at home, by the way. 2 of those losses, though, the Packers and the Chiefs, not a huge deal. The Falcons are a great running team, but they won't have Cordero Patterson. I think that matters in this matchup here. The Bucks' last 3 wins against the Falcons, 13 points, 23 points, 17 points. The spread is 9. I'll take the Bucks to cover there.
Okay, Cam, I have to ask you, because everyone's talking about Tom Brady and his personal life really going to affect him out on this field. In my opinion, this personal issue has been going on a lot longer than just before this season. You don't just lawyer up and decide to get divorced out of nowhere. So are you weighing any factors into Tom Brady's personal life before betting these games?
Well, I don't have much of a sample size. In fact, I don't have any sample size in terms of going through a divorce, thankfully. I'm not even married. I'm a single guy. But I will say that Tom Brady knows how to have tunnel vision. And it's like, to your point, he hasn't been going through these rough patches with Giselle throughout the NFL season already. Like, he knows how to deal with this. He knows how to shut down and lock it in on the football field. And so I think Tom Brady will be fine. I think the Bucks will be fine. No distractions whatsoever. Brady has dealt with so many controversies in the past, Deflategate and Spygate and all these things. He'll be fine. Bucks will win easily.
Absolutely. It would be way worse to get out on that field after being found out you deflated the ball than anything else, I think, in my opinion. And divorce is normally a happy thing for both couples involved.
There you go.
So I say that from firsthand information. But you guys, thank you so much for joining me here on the Joe Madden Sports Show. Cam, where can everyone find you?
Yeah, follow me on Twitter at Mr. Rogers99 and follow Lock It In wherever you get podcasts. I'll be live on Sports Map Radio tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Eastern time, all my NFL picks.
That is great. Best of luck on your show tomorrow. You guys make sure you join him at 7 p.m. Eastern. Thanks, Cam.
Thanks, Joe.